everyone. We do want to honor your time. We know that this is a busy time of year, so we will get started. Just want to welcome you. This is just meant to be a very informal introduction of the COSA initiative for building administrators. We know as we've been sharing this information with district leadership that sometimes there's a disconnect between what gets shared at the district level and what gets shared at the building level. So we just want to make sure that we're helping everyone stay on the same page and answering any questions that you might have for us. So our purpose today is really just to ensure that clear communication and just establish a common understanding for the roles and responsibilities of the COSA and just the expectations that we have of the district itself. On the screen right now, you'll see there's a tiny URL and a QR code. Both take you to that survey that we shared while you were in the waiting room if you joined us a little early. But if you wouldn't mind just taking a couple of minutes just to fill out that form for us, we'll just give you maybe 2 minutes right now. It shouldn't take very long. And really, we're trying to gain information from you about what the needs are at the building principal level for this initiative. And we also, the final question has to do with times and days of the week that might work better for professional development. That's a little broader. That we're actually looking for your help and guidance in as we determine the kinds of professional developments that we might offer this year, what would work best for building leadership. So don't feel like you're committing to something if you say, you know what, Sunday nights work best for me. That doesn't mean that you're committing to Sunday nights. We're just looking for ideas from building leadership of when they might be available. And again, our purpose today is really just to establish that basic line of communication with you and clarify any questions you might have. But we would be remiss if we didn't acknowledge the fact that principals and building leadership right now you're dealing with crises like we've never had before. And I'm sure that taking just these few minutes out of your day is a struggle. And we just want to acknowledge all of the good, hard work that you're doing right now within your district and just give our heartfelt appreciation both as parents. Melissa and I are both parents, and we understand what educators are doing for our own children right now. And as fellow educators, we just want to offer our support, and we just want to say thank you for all that you're doing, everything that you are working through. You've got this. We're all going to get through this together, but we know that you're on the front lines. And if there is anything that we can do at Wayne Risa to support you, any questions you might have, we're available. We might not have all of the answers, but we can try and connect you with someone who might. And one of the nice things at Wayne Risa is sometimes we have a little bit more time to research some of those difficult questions, and we want to support you in whatever ways you might need. So feel free to always reach out. And with that, we have divided our districts into really 2 big groups. And we did this just so that we can offer more streamlined support. So the first set of districts you're seeing on the screen are being supported by our colleagues, Mary Lou and Colleen. And they are fabulous and will be more than happy to help you with anything that you might need. But feel free to email if you have any questions. And then Melissa and I are supporting the districts that you see on the screen now. And again, whatever questions you might have, we're here to support you. Even if you're not sure if we're the right person, we will try and connect you with the right person. So even if it's not necessarily a literacy question or connected to the COSA initiative, please let us know. We also want to make you aware of the website, lln.risa.net. This is in addition to our Wayne Risa website, and it's just meant to be an easier way to find information. The portion that we're really directing district leadership to and that we want to make available to you as building administrators is the page under literacy coaching that's called COSA coordinators. Really, the target audience for this is that district level connection, but there's a lot of information here, including FAQs, just allowable activities, just different information that you may find beneficial. So this is a good place to go if you're looking for really specifics about this initiative. And even the word COSA itself, what we mean by COSA, you may be familiar with the word TOSA of teacher on special assignment. A COSA is a coach on special assignment. So it's just some different responsibilities that we're asking of our COSAs this year. So this is a great place to go for information. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Melissa.
Thank you, Michelle. And so when we think about the initiative, the COSA initiative, the driving force behind the model that's been implemented throughout Wayne County is the MDE approved coaching model. And displayed in the image, it shows us really the driving force between what we should see within the building throughout the COSA initiative. The goal of the COSA initiative is that your coach, your COSA, is spending most of their time working with K-3 teachers in the areas of literacy instruction. We can also see in the chart that also dedicated to being a literacy leader. And this means that they may be helping to facilitate or present literacy or best practice in professional learning. Perhaps they're working with small groups in a PLC or a data meeting, but we know that that's just a small portion of their work. The intended work of a COSA is to spend most of their time coaching teachers within their classroom. And so we hope that this short time with us today helps to give you, the building leader, a better picture of who is this COSA, and not only who or what is their role, but what do we hope that they're doing to bring best impact within your schools. When we think about Wayne County, we know that we have a Wayne County literacy theory of action. And within that action, we know that we've articulated as a county the importance of a coaching system, the importance of having buildings, working with our strong educators to make our delivery even stronger. When we think about the COSA initiative, we too have thought about a system-wide approach. Basically, this image outlines the conduits that we know are interconnected with this initiative. Your COSA truly serves as a conduit between all four of these areas. They're working with us, they're certainly working with your district, they're working with you as building leaders, and they're working with other coaches throughout the county. We know that a system takes multiple stakeholders to be successful. So as your Wayne County representatives at Wayne RESA, we've outlined what we know that we need to do. We need to make sure that there's clear communication throughout all layers. We know that your district has agreed to fulfill their requirements and their agreements within this initiative. They know what the COSA's role is and what it is not. And it's their role also to communicate within the district with the building leaders so that we can ensure that the COSAs are clear on what their roles and responsibilities are within the buildings that they're blessed to work within. So when we think about the COSA initiative, we know that, again, it's a system-wide approach. We also know the power of intercommunication and strong communication loops. And so that's why we're so very thankful that you've joined us today to ensure that that clear communication flows, not just to the COSA coordinator at the district level, but also in the role that you play as the building leader. We know that coaching research goes to a predictor that if the coach principal has a strong relationship and a healthy one, that we know the coaching initiative within the classrooms has a better chance of being successful. One way that we are looking to ensure that we know how successful this initiative is through the COSA coaching log. Perhaps you're already aware of the log, and we know that our COSAs are becoming much more familiar with the log, but basically it's one of our ways that we are being compliant to the grant that is flowing the funding through, but also that at the end we can say in Wayne County, this is how we approached the early literacy grant funds, how the district was blessed to use the COSA within their buildings, and this is the impact it had. This COSA coaching log is something that your COSA is asked to fill out on a daily basis. And it gives us an outline of not only where are they spending their time, but how. It's not an evaluative measure, it's meant to show impact. So that at the end, when we see great success within the buildings that the COSAs are blessed to serve, we can say, well, that makes sense. Look at all the time they spent co-teaching or modeling or helping to facilitate PLCs or data meetings. And so if your COSA mentions the COSA coaching log, we also hope that they're sharing some of this data with you to say, wow, look how I'm spending my time. I'm able to spend this much time modeling and within classrooms. I'm able to spend this much time co-teaching or co-planning. We hope that it reflects a small amount of time as a leader. But again, it's meant that your COSAs spend most of their time working with K-3 educators in the areas of literacy and instruction. We know that you have a lot on your plate, and we know that coaching is a system-wide approach, not simply a role that we fill. And so at Wayne RESA, we have a guidance document meant to work with leaders as we think about a system approach to coaching and coaching systems. This is a document that's widely available to you and also posted on the COSA coordinator site. And it outlines 8 components of a successful coaching literacy implementation system. It breaks down into 8 considerations as we think about what is the impact and the model that research has shown gives us the best impact when coaching is initiated within a building. And the first step is certainly knowledge and ownership across all stakeholders. And this again goes to why we're so blessed to have you in this meeting with us today. It is essential that all levels of leadership have an understanding of what is this coaching mean to me and my educators in my building. And the first step is ensuring that what is the purpose behind having a COSA or a coach within our building. We sustain the work all throughout the year. And this certainly goes to the research that is stemmed behind the literacy essentials, and especially Essential 4. The importance of having, again, a strong leader and a healthy coach-principal relationship, because we know it truly is relevant to the success of the coaching initiative. We know that research supports that principal support behind a coaching initiative is essential. And the ways that you can do that as a building leader is to truly present them as a source of expertise. You can promote use of a coach as not something that is punitive or meaning that there is something that needs to be fixed within me. It's something that we hope that all educators are blessed to have, that coaching is alongside the good fine work that our educators are doing. And so it's important that you as the leader in the building have clearly defined this is what our COSA, our coach, is able to do, and this is what they're not able to do. This is what we hope that they're doing within your classroom, and this is how we hope to communicate. And so as a building leader, you truly play an important role in ensuring that not only we know who our COSA is, but also what their role is within your building. As we think again about the key considerations, we know that communication, again, is essential to the success of a coaching initiative. We want our educators, again, to know that coaching is a blessing, not something that I should be worried that I'm being invited to do. And so as you think about the work and the role that you can play, you might ask yourself, have I clearly defined who that my COSA is and what they're able to do within our classrooms? Have we set up times for us to come together, bi-weekly or at least monthly, to chat around how is the initiative going? What work have we done? And as a building leader, what might I lift for you if you're going into problems with getting into classrooms? We also know this approach is collaborative, that it's not just you and your COSA here, it's we and RISA too. And so we truly want to be your partner as well as you're thinking about how do we establish a coaching schedule? How do we think about how the COSA spreads their time if they're assigned to multiple buildings? And what does it mean if my COSA has too much on their plate? How might we help to prioritize the work that they do? So again, our graph and our data reflects that they are working most of the time with classroom educators. So again, as you think about your role and your work with a COSA initiative, please know that again, it's not just you. You have so much on your plate. You're part of a system approach. We know that your COSA coordinator is communicating with you, but we also know that you have the power and the influence within your building. And so we truly hope that if the need arises, you reach out to us to think around scheduling, to think around initiatives, to think around the work that the COSA is doing, because we truly want this to be a success. And we know that if we're partners all throughout our stakeholder groups, that we truly have the best chance at being successful and showing that yes, in Wayne County, our COSA initiative was impactful and the funding does continue.
So with that, we have just a list of allowable activities that Laura has just put into our chat for us. These are just activities that might help you better understand the specifics that the COSA is and isn't allowed to participate in. So we are bound by the parameters of the grant, which is why this document may be helpful for you. So we just provide this so that you have some additional information on that, so that may be helpful as well as you think about what the COSA is working towards this year. And we just want to say thank you